Melody Shari just dropped a bombshell that could change everything, calling her ex, Martell Holt, not just an ex, but a full-on liability to her empire. What triggered this explosive shift after years of silence? And why could this be the end of Martell's role on Love and Marriage, Huntsville? Stay tuned, because today, we're unpacking the real story behind the headlines, and trust me, you won't believe what comes next. Melody Shari just made it crystal clear Martell Holt isn't just her ex. He's now a liability to her legacy. After years of controlled silence and subtle distance, she's finally speaking out into the shade. It's surgical. Her words about Martell aren't just personal, they're strategic, calculated, and potentially career-shifting. The way she framed it will leave you wondering how he'll ever bounce back and whether he even can. Welcome back to the channel where we unpack the real stories behind the headlines and today's breakdown. This one's a game changer in the world of reality TV. We're talking about Melody Shari, the self-made mogul, the unbothered queen, and the woman who just took control of her own narrative like never before. Singer and Love and Marriage, Huntsville star Melody Shari has just drawn a bold, unapologetic line in the sand when it comes to her ex-husband and longtime co-star, Martell Holt, officially shifting him from personal baggage to professional liability. After years of staying poised, silent, and intentionally protecting her peace, Melody is now saying what fans have quietly sensed for ages. Martell isn't just a chapter in her past, he's a threat to her present brand and future moves. In this video, we're diving deep into the buildup behind Melody's cutting words. What triggered this sharp shift, and what it all means for her empire moving forward, when despite everything, despite the betrayal, the public divorce, and the messy fallout, still showed Martell grace. She co-parented, filmed with him, and kept her distance without dragging his name. But something shifted. Behind the scenes, tensions were simmering, and insiders say Martell's behavior began crossing lines professionally, not just personally. Allegations of backdoor sabotage, controlling behavior during filming, and attempts to undermine her brand started surfacing, with some sources even claiming he tried to block certain business deals. Melody's latest statement wasn't just a clapback, it was a clear boundary. For her, this wasn't about revenge, it was about reclaiming control and protecting what she's built. And now, fans are wondering, has Martell's presence become so toxic that it's poisoning the entire brand of Love and Marriage, Huntsville? The fallout from this shift could permanently reshape the show's direction and any hope of future collaboration between the two may be officially off the table. When Melody and Martell Holt stood as Huntsville's ultimate power couple, estate moguls, stars of a hit reality show, and proud parents of four, their image was a shining symbol of success, black excellence, and faith. From glamorous red carpet appearances to intimate marriage retreats, the Holts seemed to capture the very essence of what Love and Marriage Huntsville aimed to showcase. Yet beneath the carefully coordinated outfits and flawless interviews, subtle cracks were already beginning to show. Viewers first sensed the tension bubbling beneath the surface during the show's early seasons, signaling that all was not as perfect as it seemed. When whispers of Martell's infidelity first emerged, many assumed it was just typical marital turmoil, something the couple could handle behind closed doors. But that fragile illusion crumbled when Melody publicly confirmed what fans had long suspected. Martell had been involved in a prolonged affair that led to a child outside their marriage. This shocking revelation didn't just fracture their family, it threatened to dismantle the carefully crafted brand they had built together. Yet, through it all, Melody stayed composed. She embraced grace, prioritized her role as a mother, and poured her energy into expanding her business empire, launching new ventures that showcased her strength and resilience: music, growing her real estate ventures, and cultivating her personal brand beyond the show. Meanwhile, Martell, though still a visible presence on screen, took a markedly different route, one punctuated by public outbursts, pointed remarks, and direct accusations targeting Melody. Over the past few seasons, viewers witnessed their fragile co-parenting efforts unraveling before their eyes. Martell's actions grew increasingly unpredictable, interrupting Melody during interviews, making unannounced appearances at events, and even clashing with her associates on camera. Deepening the rift between them in the public eye, seemed intent on inserting himself into every aspect of Melody's life, whether she welcomed it or not. But things took an even darker turn as producers pressed on with filming them together, hoping to capitalize on the tension for ratings. While the show did see a boost in viewership, Melody's personal brand began to suffer. Fans started to ask, why does Melody still let him near her brand? Why does she keep giving him a platform? And behind the scenes, it appears Melody was wrestling with those very questions herself. Insiders now confirm she had started to reconsider her involvement. Seeking distance from Martell's ongoing presence, Melody reportedly requested less shared filming time with Martell, pointing to his unpredictable behavior and the negative impact he was having on her business ventures. An insider revealed to a blog, Melody played the nice role for the cameras for years, but Martell's erratic actions, both on and off screen, began to hurt her endorsements, event bookings, and overall peace of mind. She's simply done shielding him now. And just like that, the shift began. Melody stopped attending joint press opportunities, pulled back from cast events, and most recently delivered that one line that's still trending: Martell Holt is a liability to my brand. And if you think that's the end of it, oh, no. In the next section, we'll dive deep into the exact moment that pushed her over the edge and why her choice to go public wasn't just about drama, but about damage control. Over the years, Shari showed tremendous restraint while Martell made headlines for dragging her name through interviews, live streams, and social media posts. She chose to stay focused on her businesses, her children, and her personal growth. But every strong woman has a limit, and this time, Martell crossed it. According to insiders close to the show's production, the breaking point came during a recent business conference where Melody was scheduled to speak as the keynote guest. It was a career-defining opportunity for her, one that would position her as a respected businesswoman beyond reality TV. But just days before the event, Martell allegedly made disparaging comments about her behind-the-scenes comments that got back to the organizers. Some sources claim he hinted that she wasn't professional, that she used the show for fame, and that she still relied on him behind the scenes. The organizers were reportedly shaken, unsure whether to proceed. Melody was blindsided, and this wasn't just petty drama, this was her livelihood. One of Melody's close friends later shared that was it. He wasn't just trying to hurt her feelings, he was trying to sabotage her work. And that's when she said, "I'm done protecting him." But this wasn't the only incident. Over the past year, Martell's behavior has raised eyebrows more than once. He reportedly tried to insert himself into Melody's skincare launch by showing up uninvited to a VIP event, creating tension with sponsors. He leaked private text messages between them on social media in an attempt to discredit her parenting. And perhaps, most disturbingly, he reached out to bloggers offering stories and insider info that painted Melody as manipulative and arrogant, a clear attempt to chip away at her reputation and brand. For a woman like Melody, who has fought to reinvent herself post-divorce, this wasn't just messy, it was malicious. And finally, during an exclusive interview with a lifestyle podcast, she addressed it head-on: Martell is no longer part of my narrative. I built this brand without him, and if being associated with me is helping his platform, that's over. He's not just toxic, he's a liability. That moment went viral within hours. Clips of the statement were shared across Instagram, X, and YouTube. Fans applauded her, fellow businesswomen praised her strength, and many declared it a long overdue reality check. Commendations, and even some castmates privately reached out saying, "It's about time someone said it." And just like that, Melody went from quiet strength to vocal protection. Not just for her peace, but for her business, her children, and her future. But don't get it twisted, Martell didn't take the statement lightly. He clapped back with a series of cryptic posts, and even hinted at exposing the real truth about Melody's brand. So now the question is, what happens next? In the next section, we'll explore how Martell has responded to the backlash, the impact on the show's dynamics, and what this means for both of their futures fallout. And whether his recent moves signal redemption or full-on retaliation. Shari's words echoed loud across the internet: Martell Holt is a liability to my brand. And as expected, Martell didn't stay silent, but what he did next has fans asking, was this a calculated clapback, or just another emotional spiral caught on camera? Within 24 hours of Melody's interview dropping, Martell took to Instagram with a series of now-deleted stories. In them he appeared frustrated, pacing back and forth, venting into the camera about perceived betrayals, unfair editing, and claims that Melody was using the show to rewrite history. He even accused her of manipulating public perception to gain sympathy and control the narrative. But was this just a moment of raw emotion, or a strategic move? Fans and insiders are divided. Some believe Martell's outburst was an impulsive reaction fueled by hurt and anger. Others speculate it was a pre-planned effort to regain the spotlight and set the stage for a comeback. Whatever the truth, the damage is done, and the public war between these two stars is far from over. Being disrespected, cut out of his children's lives, and dragged for ratings. But viewers noticed something else: his tone, his body language, the unhinged energy that seemed less like a defense and more like an unraveling. He said, "Everybody want to talk about Melody like she's some saint. Nah, let's talk about how that brand got built on my name, too." In another post, he threatened to drop receipts that would expose her true nature, writing, "Y'all want tea? I got screenshots, voice notes, and court records. Stop playing with me." The threat sent social media into a frenzy, with fans divided, some skeptical about his claims, while others braced for a new level of drama. But insiders caution that if Martell follows through, it could backfire, spectacularly damaging his reputation more than hers and potentially closing doors on any future opportunities within the industry. The power struggle is now public and messy, and it's clear neither side is willing to back down anytime soon. Internet lit up. Some fans urged him to let it go and move on. Others egged him on, begging for the so-called receipts. But what followed was even more unsettling. Martell began sharing throwback clips of him and Melody from their wedding, early business ventures, and happy family moments, captioned with things like, "I built this with her, she didn't do it alone." The post seemed like an attempt to remind fans of their shared history and imply that Melody's success was not entirely independent. But many saw it as a desperate move to reclaim relevance and sympathy as the public watched the drama unfold. The question remained, what would be Martell's next move, and could this public battle lead to any real resolution or just further damage for both sides? That's when people started to raise serious concerns. Was this just a man venting after being publicly shamed, or was this a pattern of behavior we've seen before? Emotional manipulation, public deflection, and quiet threats aimed at controlling the narrative. Let's not forget, this isn't Martell's first time reacting this way. During their divorce proceedings, he appeared on live TV denying infidelity, only to have the truth confirmed weeks later. Tried to gain full custody of their children, claiming Melody was unstable despite never presenting any evidence, and attempted to undermine her credibility with mutual friends and business partners. This history suggests a consistent tactic of trying to dominate the story and maintain control at any cost. And now, with the public feud escalating, many are wondering if this will finally force a reckoning or just prolong the drama. With no real winners, insiders say Martell's erratic behavior is forcing the network to reconsider how much screen time he gets and whether he's worth the risk to the brand. They fear his actions could scare away advertisers and damage the carefully cultivated image Melody has worked so hard to rebuild. It's a tense standoff with no easy resolution in sight. Producers want drama, but not at the cost of the show's survival. And Melody's team is pushing for boundaries to protect her legacy. The question now is whether Martell will keep escalating, or if both sides can find a way to de-escalate before the fallout becomes irreversible. Play trying to control the narrative on his own terms. But insiders say these attempts come off as desperate rather than strategic, especially since Melody's silence speaks volumes. Fans are starting to side more openly with Melody, admiring her restraint and growth while growing weary of Martell's erratic outbursts. This media blitz could backfire badly, making Martell look like he's losing control. Meanwhile, the network is reportedly growing increasingly concerned that his public moves might derail the entire franchise if things escalate further. It's a powder keg waiting to explode. And everyone's watching to see who blinks first. Ben pushing own executives to rethink the show's direction, demanding a clear break from Martell's involvement. Insiders reveal that discussions are underway about rewriting contracts, reducing Martell's screen time, or even removing him entirely from future seasons. This unprecedented move signals a major shakeup that could reshape the franchise's core dynamics. Producers are caught between managing the fan backlash, keeping the show's drama alive, and respecting Melody's firm stance. The tension is palpable, and what happens next could redefine reality TV's take on authenticity and power struggles. Martell's presence has noticeably diminished, with fewer scenes and less direct interaction with Melody. Rumors suggest producers are testing the waters to see if the show can maintain its ratings without the toxic energy Martell brought. At the same time, Melody's rising influence behind the scenes is sparking hope among fans that the franchise might finally prioritize authenticity and empowerment over manufactured conflict. However, with tensions still simmering and no formal announcements yet, the future remains uncertain, and viewers are watching closely to see who really holds the power in love and marriage. Huntsville's next chapter. She's built a powerful personal brand that extends far beyond reality TV through her music, business ventures, and motivational platforms. Producers recognize that her growth is what keeps fans invested, so they're reshaping the show to highlight her journey while minimizing the distractions caused by Martell's drama. It's a bold pivot, but one that could redefine love and marriage, Huntsville's future, making it less about conflict and more about authentic storytelling and empowerment. Fans are eager to see how this new direction unfolds, and whether Melody's influence will finally bring the stability the show desperately needs, by giving her creative control and spotlighting her success beyond the drama. This new narrative not only elevates Melody as an entrepreneur and role model, but also signals a turning point for love and marriage Huntsville, aiming to attract a broader audience seeking real growth and inspiration. As Melody continues to build her empire, the show's future will likely hinge on how well it can evolve around her rising star and whether it can leave behind the toxic drama that once defined it. Authenticity. And right now, Martell's arc feels like a broken record, with Melody carving out a fresh, empowered identity, and OWN keen to capitalize on her evolving brand. The network faces a critical crossroads: pivot toward a new, inspiring narrative centered on Melody's growth, or risk alienating longtime fans craving genuine storytelling. Martell's uncertain future contrasts sharply with Melody's rising momentum, making it clear who holds the keys to the franchise's survival moving forward. If Martell doesn't adapt and grow, he's in danger of being left behind, plain and simple. But here's where things get interesting. Melody isn't just evolving, she's quietly reshaping the entire dynamic of the show. Her transformation has sparked a ripple effect, prompting other cast members to rethink how they show up. The focus is shifting. There's less chaos and more strategy, fewer shouting matches and more meaningful moves. What once felt like just another reality show is now evolving into something deeper, a powerful platform. And leading that cultural shift, right at the heart of it all, is Melody Shari. While social media might be fixated on Martell's explosive reaction and that controversial liability remark, most fans are missing the bigger picture. Behind the cameras, a major upheaval is quietly underway, already steering love and marriage Huntsville into uncharted territory. Insiders familiar with the production reveal that Melody's outspoken stance wasn't just about personal feelings, was a firm professional boundary. For months, she's been renegotiating her contract, pushing for greater authority over her own storyline, reduced screen time alongside Martell, and even a creative voice in shaping how her personal brand is represented. And according to those close to the situation, recent developments show Melody is securing exactly what she pushed for this season. Fans are noticing her solo scenes have grown longer, more refined, and often highlight her business pursuits, motivational talks, and journey through motherhood, a marked contrast to earlier seasons focused largely on drama and divorce. Meanwhile, Martell's appearances have become more solitary, frequently capturing his reactions to Melody's rising success or his tense confrontations with cast members over past actions. It's a subtle, yet deliberate change, one that speaks volumes. The show is progressing, with or without Martell, an insider confided. Melody was firm. If she's going to remain on this show, it must safeguard her brand, not tear it down. She's done playing the role of the villain's ex-wife. Now, she's stepping fully into her own narrative and on a grand scale. Over the past year, Melody has launched her multi-city empowerment tour, drawing sold-out crowds and landing high-profile sponsors. She also secured a beauty brand partnership with a national retailer and signed with a new talent agency to dive into hosting, acting, and scripted projects. Melody's new ventures extend beyond just business deals. She's stepping into TV opportunities that showcase her evolving identity. No longer just Melody Holt, the ex-wife, she's now Melody Shari, a brand, a movement, and a force to be reckoned with. This intentional rebranding is powerful, a bold response to years of being defined by Martell's drama. The producers are taking notice too. Multiple insiders reveal that OWN is exploring spin-off ideas that highlight Melody's journey, separate from the main storyline, potentially spotlighting themes like single motherhood, entrepreneurship, or faith-based leadership. Meanwhile, Martell, on the other hand, is reportedly having a tough time carving out his place, both on and off the show. Rumors are circulating that his storyline has grown stale, with producers questioning if he still adds value, or simply fuels conflict. As one executive put it, viewers might come for the drama, but they stay for the growth. If Martell can't evolve, he risks being left in the dust. But here's the real game changer. Melody's transformation is reshaping the entire vibe of the show. Other cast members are starting to rethink how they present themselves: less shouting, more focus. Less scandal, more substance. What once was just another reality series is evolving into a powerful platform. At the heart of this shift stands one woman, Melody Shari. What's your take on Melody finally standing her ground? Was she justified in calling Martell a liability, or is there more beneath the surface? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because this is just the beginning of the conversation. Now, the real conversation kicks off. If you've ever had to sever ties with someone who put your peace, your business, or your future at risk, we want to hear your story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into the stories they'd rather keep hidden. This isn't mere gossip, it's real life, valuable lessons, and genuine growth. Until next time, stay sharp, stay resilient, and stay unapologetically you.